Today we will be talking about the sit and reach test. We will be using a sit and reach box in order to complete this task. Before starting the test, make sure your subject warms up for at least 2 to 3 minutes using dynamic warm up or any type of warm up that will actually warm up the muscle. When your subject is warm, whenever they're going to start the test, make sure they place both feet in the bottom of the box. Make sure they're straight, their legs straight, and they reach with both arms as far as they can. You have to make sure both hands are aligned, and also they have to hold it for at least 2 to 3 seconds. Make sure to do this trial 2 times. To help your subject, make sure you tell him to breathe in and out before the exercise in order to relax the muscles. Now we will talk about the straight leg raise test, which is a test that assesses the flexibility of your hip extensors. Before starting the test, make sure your subject warms up for at least 2 to 3 minutes in order to stretch the muscles that are going to be used during this exercise. Once your subject is ready, make sure they lie on the back with their back snug against the floor. The tester will then raise the participant's leg, ensuring that the opposite leg does not lift from the floor. The tester then will measure the angle of flexion by using a goniometer by placing it in its axis on the greater trochanter. A minimum angle of 80 degrees is the acceptable for this test, but although it is desirable for it to be around the 90 degrees range. Make sure to do this test for both legs. Now we'll be talking about the YMCA sit and reach test using the yardstick taped on the floor. But make sure that before you start, you warm up and loosen those muscles that will be used. After the subject warms up, make sure you place a yardstick on the floor with the tape across at a right angle to the 15-inch mark. The participant then will sit between the yardstick between his legs with the legs extended at right angles to the tape line on the floor. The heels of the feet should touch the edge of the tape line about 10 to 12 inches apart. Then, the participant will reach slowly forward with both hands as far as possible. Make sure they hold it for at least 2 seconds. The hands should be parallel at every second and should not leave with only one hand. It has to be both hands at the same time. The way we will score this is that it will be the most distant point reached with the fingertips between the 2 tests that you will take. Now we'll be talking about the chair sit and reach test. In this test, you also have to make sure you warm up in order to loosen the muscles that will be used in this activity. You will need a chair with a seat height of at least 17 inches or 43 centimeters that will not tip forward, as well as an 18-inch ruler. You will place the chair against the wall. It's only for stability so it won't move or tip forward. Your client will sit in the front of the edge of the seat. Your client then will extend the leg being tested in front of the hip with the heel on the floor and the ankle dorsiflexed approximately 90 degrees. The client then will flex the untested leg so that the sole of the foot is flat on the floor about 6 to 12 inches to the side of the body's midline. The subject then will slowly bend forward, making sure that he's as straight as possible and the head is normal aligned, not tucked in with the spine. The client will reach down the extended leg, trying to touch the toes, and will hold the position for at least 2 seconds. You have to make sure the hands are on top of each other and the palms are facing down. The way we will score this is that the middle of the big toe at the end of the shoe represents a 0. If you reach short of the toes, it will be recorded as a minimum score. If you reach beyond the toes, it will be recorded as a plus score. They will record the best score to the nearest half inch